Hello, everybody. My name is Miles Davis, and I am part of Massive Burn Studios, along with my lovely wife, Marissa. And I'm very happy to be here talking to the MCMA. Is that how you say that, right?
Yes.
The abbreviation? Get
Yes.
that right? And I'm very honored to be part of the Montage Montage XX show, right? I'm very honored to be a part of that, and I'm happy that they're here talking to me today about my studio practices. So I was told just to kind of ad-lib and talk to you guys a little bit about what I do as an artist, what are my philosophies, and then hopefully towards the end I'll get to show you some of my work and we'll show you some of my processes. So first off, I'm a lifelong artist. Since I was 5 years old, I was raised in a divorced military family. It wasn't an amicable divorce typically, so they was kind of angry. So I did a lot of traveling growing up by myself with my younger brother, and that's when I got into artwork. I started drawing from the time I was 4 and 5, and I drew on a regular basis. I learned how to draw Spider-Man. Is how I learned how to draw anatomy initially, just by tracing when I was like 5 and 6. So by the time I was in, 3rd or 4th grade, I was like the art kid. Everybody wanted to see me in school. Like, can you draw my yearbook? Can you do my name all graffiti style? So I definitely enjoyed all that attention growing up, and it kind of fueled my interest in art as I was finding my place in the world. And I've never stopped. I went to Auburn University, graduated with a fine arts degree. But a lot of my influences and my philosophies in my work tend to come from being an 80s kid. I was raised on cartoons and the advent of video games and Sega Genesis, which a lot of you guys these days don't even know about. And my brother was so good at video games that he would play for like an hour or two before he would die. And I'd die in 5 minutes. So his skill set started getting really high on video games and mine went down. So I just started drawing when I would watch him play for 2 hours. So a lot of the pop culture really influenced my work. And as I got into high school and college, I studied a lot of artists from art history all the way up to the present. Anything from the Renaissance, of course, and areas like that. Baroque was one of the areas that I really enjoyed because of the dark shadows and the high contrast lights, things like that. And then as I started trying to think about my career towards the end of my college education, I really started thinking about what I have to say. What do I have to say with my work? It's not just about being able to do work. I'm a big proponent of trying to find your own voice. I teach a little bit too, and I equate a lot of analogies with music, like writing a song. A lot of musicians, they layer sounds to get certain emotional responses. I try to layer colors and texture and figures. I do consider myself a figurative artist. I really enjoy the figure, but I try to keep it within the realm of being an 80s kid. Comic books, cartoons, comic strips, things of that nature. Graffiti art is one that I enjoy. But then again, I also try to mix that with some of my classical training to come up with a unique vision and a unique voice. And I really do feel like I'm always trying to learn, but I'm definitely getting to that level where I have this collection growing that is very unique, and I'm very, very proud to show it. So that's kind of my philosophy on work. I do feel like the art world is due for a shakeup as far as when it comes to the contemporary establishment. It's not all bad. I'm not a hater, I'm definitely open-minded and I'm always trying to learn. So I'm very open to trying to understand certain abstract processes. And I might even put them in some of my work in the future. I'm becoming more and more prone to use texture and collage. I use spray paint and metallics. I use blacklight paint in a lot of my work. I don't use it for that effect necessarily, but I do use it for the real bright, just saturated pinks and oranges and greens you can get from these blacklight paints. So I usually embellish throughout the painting. And sometimes it works well when you put the blacklight on, sometimes it doesn't. But most of my new works do kind of cater to newer materials. I use mostly acrylic because acrylic to me was a medium that was kind of developed over the last century or so. So if you look at art history, you're not going to find any acrylic paintings necessarily, except the last century, of course. And so I try to use acrylics, but it's plastic-based, it's a modern medium, along with the other things that I'm using. So I do try to keep with the visual elements and the materials I use in a more modern context. I've heard people say they think painting is dead. I completely disagree. I don't believe that.
No.
Obviously. I got all this stuff right here. Nope. I definitely don't think painting is dead. And it's just something I've always done. It's part of who I am. And I'm never going to stop, regardless if I become wildly successful or I don't. So and it is a goal of mine to become a great American artist. One of the goals that I have as an artist, it sounds so egotistical, but I just would like to have one of my pieces be revered as some kind of masterpiece. Just one. For my entire life. And I'm 40 now, so I still got a good, 30 years. 30 years
Plenty of time.
brain functionality to keep going, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm excited to see where it all goes, you know?
Awesome.
So that's kind of my philosophy and where I am now. I'm just now trying to push to the museums and larger commercial galleries and make some connections and network there. I've been showing recently at the art expos. We sold some pieces at Art Basel this past year. Was it 2019 in December? And then, of course, we were going to do Art Expo, but Art Expo got postponed. Thanks, COVID. You know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So, you know, so we had a lot of plans for 2020, but a lot of them got kind of canned because of what's going on. But, you know, you got to have priorities, you know. I do try to look at it as an opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to kind of experiment with my work a little bit more widely and play with different processes while trying to keep my vision intact. And I am trying to push into larger works, which is another reason I'm really trying to push into grants and museums so that I can really present some of my larger ideas. But I can't keep them here, so I need to have a home for them almost prior to creating them, which is kind of a conundrum. You know? Welcome to the art business. But yeah, so that's pretty much my philosophy in a nutshell. So.
All right.